Tensions between Israel and Iran are not new. They're decades in the making. But in recent years, the hostility has sharpened. Military strikes, covert assassinations, cyber attacks, and regional proxy clashes have brought the two nations dangerously close to direct war. The question many ask, why would Israel want a war with Iran? To understand that, we have to start with what Israel sees when it looks eastward. Iran is not just another rival state. It's the most powerful actor in the region, openly committed to Israel's destruction. Iranian leaders have called Israel a cancer and an illegitimate regime. While some statements are political rhetoric, Israel takes them seriously, especially when they're backed by weapons and militias across the region. The core of Israel's fear lies in Iran's nuclear ambitions. For decades, Iran has pursued nuclear technology. While Tehran insists its program is peaceful, Israel believes otherwise. A nuclear-armed Iran, Israeli officials argue, would be an existential threat. It would shift the regional balance of power and make it nearly impossible for Israel to defend itself. Israeli leaders, across political lines, have repeatedly said they will not allow Iran to get the bomb. But the nuclear issue is only part of the story. Iran's influence extends far beyond its borders. Through funding and arming militant groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Islamic Jihad in Gaza, and militias in Syria and Iraq, Iran has built a network that surrounds Israel with hostile forces. Missiles from Hezbollah alone are estimated in the tens of thousands, enough to overwhelm Israel's air defenses in a full-scale war. For Israel, this isn't just about preventing war. It's about preventing encirclement. Every year, Iranian-backed groups grow bolder, more heavily armed, and more embedded in Israel's neighborhood. From Syria, Iran has tried to establish military bases just across Israel's northern border. From Gaza, Iran funnels weapons and money to Hamas and Islamic Jihad. And from Lebanon, Hezbollah serves as Tehran's most powerful proxy. Israel believes time is not on its side. That's why Israel has taken the fight into the shadows. Over the past decade, it has launched hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, targeting Iranian weapon shipments and military sites. Israeli intelligence is suspected in the assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists and cyber attacks like Stuxnet, which crippled Iran's uranium enrichment. These aren't just defensive acts. They're part of a long, strategic campaign to degrade Iran's capabilities before it's too late. So, does Israel want war? Not in the conventional sense. War with Iran would be devastating for both nations and for the entire Middle East. Israeli leaders know this. But they also believe that without pressure, Iran will only grow stronger and more dangerous. From Israel's perspective, limited conflict now may prevent a catastrophic war later. Inside Israel, there's public anxiety over Iran. The threat of a nuclear Iran is a central theme in elections, military planning, and foreign policy. Defense budgets grow each year with Iran as the focus. And the recent normalization of relations with Arab states, like the UAE, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, is partly driven by a shared fear of Iran's regional power. Meanwhile, Israel is urging the West not to ease sanctions or sign weak nuclear deals with Tehran. It lobbies Washington hard, warning that diplomacy must be backed by the credible threat of force. Israel's message is clear. If the world won't stop Iran, we will, alone, if necessary. But critics warn that Israel's approach risks triggering exactly what it wants to avoid: full-scale war. They argue that military strikes, assassinations, and sabotage only harden Iran's resolve and accelerate its nuclear program. Some say Israel's aggressive posture isolates it internationally, especially when civilians are caught in the crossfire or diplomacy is sidelined.